Okay, well, with Rantoul coming up, it was not a good time to start any big projects, so I decided I'd bring the 8700 down and dink with it a little bit, because I don't really have a whole lot left to do. I've actually been working on it for a while already today, but I didn't go grab the camera because I wasn't expecting to get into what I got into, and then I went in for lunch and I finally grabbed the camera. But got it down here. Parking brake cable was stuck, so I had to work on that. Got that freed up. While I was working on the parking brake cable, I got to looking and tried to adjust the concave, and the concave was stuck. And in the process of freeing the concave up, I pulled off the cylinder inspection cover, and I was looking down in there and realized that the reason that the concave was stuck was because the rock trap was full of corn and cobs and fodder and whatnot. And that's been sitting in there since 2017, and it's all nice and rotten and black and nasty. So that had the concave froze up. And in the process of getting that freed up, I found out that the rock trap was froze, so I had to pull that canvas off so I could get in there, and I had to heat the rock trap shaft up and WD-40 the shit out of it, and I finally got the rock trap to move. Albeit a little stiff, but it does move, so yeah. Was not expected to do all that. But there's also still, the concave was all the way open, and it was stuck all the way open, and I can't get it to go all the way up because there's still some shit in, like cobs and shit in the concave, and I gotta tighten it up so I can run the machine to turn the cylinder on to get that shit kicked out of there. And obviously I got the rock trap freed up, dumped the rock trap, so basically the best way to do it is just run corn through it and shine everything back up and you'll be good to go. But you gotta get it freed up enough that you can make your adjustments so you can run corn with it. So, and in the process of doing all that, I found this bracket. It's got a crack in it that goes from there all the way to there. So I'm gonna have to pull that off. But that can wait for another day. Because really all I got, now that I got all that sorted out, all that I have that I know of, other than obviously greasing it and just giving it a good, once over, is I have to obviously now replace that, or fix that crack, and I have to replace this belt. And since I'm in there replacing that one, I'm gonna go ahead and do these two right there, because these guys are already new. These are your these drive, well, actually, these drive this whole jack shaft. These take power off the crank, and then that shaft runs. These are your hydraulic pump. That one's your AC, and then obviously this one comes out here and it runs your rotary screen. So, but the one for the AC she's pretty rough, and I figured since I was there, and you got to take it all apart anyway, I was just going to do the hydraulic pump ones, so just to be safe. But I got this coming, I got all these belts coming from Maybaugh, and then I got lucky because obviously I have to run my that new flex head on the 7300. It's got this style hookup on it. So she thinks, we'll see when they show up, the part numbers match, she thinks she found me 2 of these levers, new old stock. I got the levers, I got the springs. I tried ordering these pins, but they are no longer available, but they're easy to make. They're just a 1/2-inch pin with 1 hole in them for a roll pin. And then I'll have to make these brackets, but that's easy enough. They're just a square plate with the corners knocked off and a hole drilled in them. So have all the stuff to do that to the 7300, hopefully. So, but anyway, what I wanted to do today, now that I have all the other crap that I found out of the way, is I want to get all my lights working. My original intent was I was just going to go ahead and rewire all the lights before fall. But looking at it, we ain't got time for that shit. That's going to be a project in itself. And right now they have all the wires just running externally, like zip tied and shit, to the handrails. And I want to take some tubing and actually make some nice like conduit to run those wires through to get them protected and make it nice and clean looking, and all that's going to take time. And with the stuff I got to do this set, I got other stuff to do, and after Rantoul I start third shift 6 days a week, so that's going to run me right up until harvest. So we got to start prioritizing what's important, and right now what's important is just get all the lights to work. And I'm pretty sure the reason that most of the ones that I'd have not working don't work is because they use Scotch locks on a lot of this shit, and Scotch locks are the most garbage electrical connection ever invented ever. So, but I am gonna pull a new wire out here to the auger light, because that one's got a bunch of cracks and stuff in it, and if you turn the light on, it flickers on and off as you're running the auger out as the wire's making and breaking contact. So that's nice. So I am going to pull one new wire for that one, and the rest of them are just going to be fixing connections and getting everything to work right. So that's the project for today. Okay, so first things first. Shut up. I need to figure out, because I don't remember which lights work and which ones don't. So, God, I wish you could shut that buzzer off. Oh, there it went. Okay, so that one's on. The two at the top, so I have everything except the three at the bottom. And all that should do, that just turns the flashers on. So I haven't figured out what this switch does yet either. Wait, I wonder. Yep, nope, that switch doesn't do anything. It says real speed, but you'd think you would want a variable rate on your real speed, not just... I think that's something somebody added. I gotta look, I'll have to look in the book. But anyway, yeah, gotta figure out why I lost those three. Okay, so this wire right there, that guy feeds this light here, and then this wire right here goes up through to feed the three on the bottom, and then we got this junk ass Scotch lock. And I'd be willing to bet that right there is where my problem is. That being said, the light harness on this thing's a little bit of a cluster to begin with, but is there a bird's nest on my battery? Let's check that out real quick, because I'm scatterbrained and I like to check shit like that. There's a couple sticks sitting up there that look rather out of place. Yeah. Alright, why are you stuck? Don't tell me it's that one little freaking rock right there. Really, it was that one little rock. Oh yeah, there was a bird's nest in there. Well, that's neat. Clean that nasty shit out of there. Anyway. So, what a mess. But it should be. Oh, I guess it started out life red and it faded to purple. I was gonna say, why did they pick purple wire? But it started out life as red. So, first things first, let's see if we can't get rid of that damn Scotch lock. Alright, so we're gonna cut this son of a bitch off. Because we got more wire to work with here than we know what to do with. And we're gonna take this guy and we're actually gonna bring it through here so that it's got something to support it. And this guy, we need to get some slack because it's got way too much going on over here. And there's that. And that. And then we're going to strip these guys. A little more than that. Hopefully that gives me enough to twist these guys together like so. And come on. I need to strip them a little more. I don't really. Yeah. Oh, surely that's enough. Can't really get them twisted together, but they ought to go in here. Damn it, to stay. And keep in mind this is all just temporary until we can actually rewire these things in a more tasteful fashion. But for now, it'd just be nice to have all the lights working. Okay, let's see where that gets us. Okay, so that didn't take care of it. So, I guess before I backtrack in, I'm going to see if I got power here and make sure it's not something, because that and that are the next two connections I got. So, although technically if I got power down there, that light over there should be working, and I have a hard time believing all three of these are burning out at the same time. But just for shits and giggles, I want to see if I got power there, because if I ain't got power there, we know for sure I got to pop that guy off. Nope, no power. And I know that's I got a good ground on the light because I checked it on the battery, so. wire should be this wire. Yep, that's the wire. So, oh, I guess I can take that panel off and then I don't got to pull the dash apart, huh? That's probably the better route to go, eh? Well, found the problem. That's the wire. I don't know if you can see it. The terminal's loose on the switch. And that switch is that guy. The one that's been added. So, why they didn't, well, I know why, I probably know why they didn't just toggle it or tie it into the main light switch there in the corner. Probably for road safety, because that's a lot of lights pointing forward. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go get a new switch because that one's clearly schmucked. And they used the real speed fuse. So I pulled the fuse. It's still good, so it's the switch. And I think rather than having that push-pull, I'm at least gonna get a toggle so that it kind of half-ass looks like it belongs there. But it'll work out because I gotta go. Huh. Dash is broke. I'll be damned. Where was I at? Oh yeah, I gotta go get Teeter some dog food and some dog treats anyway, so run into town, grab me a switch, put a switch in it, hopefully we got all the lights working. And then we'll run down running a wire out there to our auger light, and we should be kosher. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I got a new switch in, and I managed to get one with a bigger stud on it, and I had to, when they put that other switch in, I don't know what the hell happened, because there was a factory hole in the dash, but it looks like they used a wood chisel to open it up to get that switch in, and there's a big like gouge down here, which is why they had that big gaudy washer. But I managed to get a switch with a bigger stud so I could do away with that big washer, and now it looks a little more presentable. But it turned into a project because they had two switches there. This one's got a little light in the end of it. I did not want one with a little light in the end of it because it's not necessary. But the first one I grabbed, they had two switches there, a 16 amp and a 20 amp. And I knew the 16 amp wasn't going to be heavy enough. So I grabbed the 20 amp. They looked identical. The 16 amp was an on-off switch. They were right next to each other. They were the same damn price. The only difference was the amperage. Get back to the house, get out of the box, go to put it in. It's a damn momentary interrupter switch. It's spring-loaded so that it automatically goes back to off. Well, that ain't worth a shit, so I had to drive all the way back to town, and the only two switches they had that was just a black toggle switch looked more like this than this. The only other one they had was that 16 amp, which was not going to be enough, so I had to get this switch with the light in the end of it, which is a 30 amp, so is what it is. But since there's light in the end of it, I might as well run the wire to make the light light up. But it needs a ground wire. There's a third lug right there on top of the switch, so I gotta figure out a place to run a little ground wire. Pickings are kind of slim inside that box. I might be able to, I bet if I put a ring terminal on and just run another nut on that bolt right there, I bet that'd work. So anyway, I'm gonna make that wire real quick. And I wonder if this used to supposed to be up here. It looks like it used to supposed to be up there, but we're gonna have to. Oh, there's another one down there that's not in either. The wiring on this thing isn't terrible. It's not like it's all hacked up, but it's going to be a process of taking everything loose, putting the loom back where it belongs, routing all the wires back where they belong. It's all in good shape. It's just some of it somebody must have had off at some point and they didn't necessarily put everything back where it belongs. So that's a project for another time. But anyway, I'm going to get that wire made real quick and then we'll work on the one going back to the auger light. Okay, so this is the wire in question that goes to that light right there, and I'm not sure what sort of tomfuckery we got going on between that joint and this splice and that joint, and then it appears that mice have been chewing on it right there, and that's bare exposed wire, and then they had this joint taped up very it just from here back we're good, and this wire going up to that one is good. It's just this section I gotta replace, and I'm gonna tie this up better because it probably needs to follow these hydraulic lines up. Oh well, there's a clip for it. That's the other thing I gotta do is get some more plexiglass and make this cover that goes here. Need to do that. That's kind of important. So I'm gonna put a spade right there. Like we got shielded spades. I'm gonna put those there and then use this multi-wire connector right here to put the three together, and that'll clean it up for now and get it where we're not arcing off of shit from bare wire. So yep, feel how long I can make it. There's only 12% battery left in that thing. I must have accidentally left it on when I went into town to get that switch. And by all rights, there really ought to be some of this wire loom going out here too, but like I say, all this wire really, at least out here, this wire probably needs to be fully replaced at some point. So we'll get it functional for this year and we'll do it right next year. On the upside, they give you a nice place to work right here, nice and flat, plenty of room, easy to get at. Just don't fall, that wouldn't be good. It'd look good on video. This part's always kind of fun because the wires never want to stay together. There we got her. Tape that up good just to help keep some of the shit out of it.
it's not going to go back in that loom. Well, we can do this. We can do this. This will work. Not that there's that much of that loom left, but we can do that. And I need enough of this to reach down around here. That ought to do it. That. I'm going to tie this to the line, so we need some slack. There. And just like that, we're back in business. Just got to get some zip ties and kind of take care of this a little bit. Well, you probably can't see it on the camera, but now we got all our lights working. And you can see these on the camera anyway. So that's good. Like I say, this is next year. We'll to get the light wiring harness itself straightened out, and I actually want to add a couple light. Well, I'll run a battery down and click these things off real quick. Yeah, hooked on the door. I want to add, it'd be nice to put a light bar here, like a 10-inch curved light bar facing. Sorry about that, damn camera battery died. I got 2 more coming for Rand Tools, so hopefully they show up in time. They said they shipped, so anyway. But like I say, I want to put like a 10-inch curved light bar facing straight back off the chopper so you can see what's going on back here. And I'm still finding hunks of tarp floating around on this thing. I'd really like to, and I don't know the best place to put them. I'd like to have one facing this way and one facing the other way. I actually want to do that in a 7300 too, because it sucks when you're going through the field and you can't see out that way and you can't see out this way other than black hole. But I just do not know where the best place, because you want to put them somewhere where they're not going to get caught on tree limbs or anything fancy like that. Could probably actually use like maybe them 2 bolts right there on the side of the grain tank extension maybe. Of course that ain't going to do any good over here because the auger's in the way. Because the one on the auger is always going to be on, but it's always facing back in the augers, and you're not going to see anything behind you because it's, you know, way up there. Yeah, I don't know. I have to do some thinking on that one. Because you want to put them where they're going to look decent, too. but they're gonna have to be up high. There's just not a good spot to mount lights off the side of this thing. Because you can't go on the back hood, because then you ain't gonna see shit up here. I don't know, we have to do some thinking on that one. We'll be able to figure something out. So, anyway, I got more stuff to do today, so I guess, oh, what the heck, we'll take you for a ride back up to the barn, or back up to the parking spot, because if I don't, people are gonna be angry about it. Well, I apologize. I was gonna have a video of bringing it back up here so you can get the ride along experience, but the GoPro said no and it froze, and I did not notice it till I got up here. So I apologize. We'll catch you on the next one. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.